Hi there, my name is Karen STEVER and I'm back! Back from what, you say? I would love to say that it was a vacation in Maui or that I was snowboarding in the Alps, but it was neither of those things. I had a hysterectomy done and I've been in bed for the last month and I've been pretty antsy and anxious to get going. But what I did manage to do is I used my time wisely and I edited the enormous book that I have been working on that has been about 110,000 words. I don't know how many pages that is. I'll let you know later. But it's a pretty big first novel. And I've been working on it for a long time, but just got the editing done. Now, if you own the Idiot Savant CD, you may know that this is that each song on the Idiot Savant CD is a snapshot from the book. And it's from the bigger story. The name of the book, I'm excited to tell you, is King Juggernaut, New York City. Okay? It's one of 7 books in a chronicle series called the Rattenbury Chronicles. The main address in the book, where everything takes place, happens at 39 Rattenbury Lane. Now you can think of this as a place of escape, it's the playground, but it's also a strategic command center where massive search and rescue happens, and there's hundreds and hundreds of animals featured in this 1939 fantasy, adventure, fiction genre. I haven't quite sorted out what that is yet. I'm sure once I get it on Amazon, they'll just give me some obscure genre to put it in. Anyway, each book will be called King Juggernaut, but then it will have the city that it takes place in. So this is King Juggernaut, New York City. The next book will be called King Juggernaut, Berlin, and so on. So there's Tokyo, and there's Rome, and Sao Paulo, and Cairo, and Bombay. Like it's a whole bunch of cities. And each book will feature a non-verbal savant from 1939, so you can imagine that era, with special powers, and these powers range from retrocognition to data recall to echolocation, and each child is specifically called to lead the special forces in it's an unusual mission. However, the military is comprised of animals, and so not everything goes according to plan. Monkeys might become impatient, really. How can anything go smoothly with a bunch of monkeys? Or angry crows, or the jackals. They don't fight fairly and they don't fight elegantly. But spiders, they remain organized and patient. And there's a lot I want to talk to you later about why I pick spiders, kind of the link between that and the arachnoid cyst in my brain and so forth. But anyway, there's some really talented people at Rattenbury Lane who have taken these animals, these birds, water mammals, from being otherwise displaced or injured to this kind of high-tech combatant level. So they not only give them their lives back, but then they inject them with this sense of purpose again. And they all stand in solidarity against greed and abuse of powers and those who threaten the weak. Don't know if any of us can relate to that in this period of history we're all navigating through. But this is 1939, and it's laid against the fabric of impending world war. But this is how they do war. Very interesting. It's a bit more awkward, and it hasn't been totally finessed, but they go for it. So in these videos, I want to give you a sneak peek into the animals in the book specifically, and some of the lines which stood out to me during the editing process. Now, while I care less and less about humans these days, joking, not joking, sorry, not sorry, I have a very tender place reserved for animals and children. And I hope that you'll follow these videos leading up to the first release of the Rattenbury Chronicles. The first one, again, being King Juggernaut, New York City. You have inspired me, and I'm really hoping that this inspires you to get back to the playground. You might be feeling really lost or alone these days. You might be feeling very disenfranchised with everything going on. You might have no hope. You might feel that you are without leadership. But let me remind you that even though we forgot how to lead, an elephant never forgets. And I'll leave you with that. Rock on.